Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Courtney Vogel and I'm a Platinum Leader with Young Living. And I'm here with my friends and we want to talk to you guys about something very important, something that you guys have asked us a lot about, and that is placement. Now, first, I think it's important to define what we are talking about and what we are not talking about. We are talking about strategic placement, i.e., you sign somebody up and you wonder where to place them in your organization to maximize your check. That's always why we would strategically place, is to maximize our check. But that is very different than stacking. So if you look at Young Living's policies and procedures, it states very clearly that we are not allowed to stack. Okay, that's different than what we're talking about today. I promise we're not trying to get you to go against policies and procedures. So stacking is when you take every single person that you enroll and you place them under someone who doesn't know that you're doing it. You can't do that. You can't decide for somebody else whether they are or they are not going to collect a check from Young Living. That's not your place to do. However, if you have someone that is building a business that wants this, then it's okay to place people under them as you sign them up, because you need legs, right? We need 2 legs for silver, 3 legs for gold, so on and so forth. And this is how we create legs. So that's why Young Living has an enroller field and a sponsor field, because we are able to divide up enroller and sponsor so that it maximizes our business. So Melissa, tell us a little bit about enroller versus sponsor and how all of that plays into strategic placement.
Great. So take notice of the Rising Star bonus that I did last week. And when we're developing legs, if this is you and this is your front line, each of these people on your front line have 100 PVER orders. You are the enroller and the sponsor to that person right underneath you. If this is your Aunt Susie here and Cousin Sally wants to sign up, you're probably going to put her with Aunt Susie. And then you can remain enroller, but Aunt Sally is the sponsor. So the volume that we're looking for in the Rising Star bonus for the first share is 300. For those other 2 shares is 500. And then for the last 3 shares is 1,000. These are the legs that you're creating to get to what Courtney said, silver, gold, platinum. The fast start bonus, when you get that 25% and that $25 for signing somebody up with a starter kit, that is also an enroller bonus. So if you're placing Aunt Cousin so-and-so underneath Aunt Sally and you're still the enroller, you still get that $50 commission check bonus so long as Aunt Sally places her order. So that is a lot right there. So ask questions, but sponsor, enroller, bonuses, this is fun. Okay, who's next? Is it Sue?
Nope, it's me. I'm going to hop in and talk about who to choose for people you will strategically place under. And there are no hard and fast rules here, so it's a little tricky to talk about it. And I can't give you a specific system that works every time. Just know that you are looking for somebody, maybe their family or friends, who you want to bless financially. Maybe it's always nice to have people that you can build, that you're in control of, if you will, so that you can really structure it and make sure that it supports your own rank advancement. So maybe your mother-in-law or your mom or your grandmother or your sister. I personally am building underneath my mom right now, and that line is going to transfer over to my son when he turns 16. So that's something that you can think about as well. Now, as you go further out, you might want to look at people who are really loving the products, and maybe they place particularly high orders, and you want to communicate with them and just say, hey, I really need a leg in this line, and I would love to bless you with a check. Would that be okay with you? I always have conversations with people beforehand, or maybe they're builders who are really doing a good job and you want to bless them with a little bit more PV. It can be an incentive for builders as well. I always, if I'm building under someone who's not building, I always make sure that they would be willing to transfer their line if they ever decide that they don't want to be part of Young Living anymore. And transferring line, you'll want to call corporate to find out how to do that. It's relatively easy though. It's a paper that needs to be signed by everybody, and then a line can transfer. So check in with that. But you will make, and I really want to emphasize this, you will make really great strategic placement decisions, and you will make really bad ones at some point. Just take a deep breath and know it's part of the process, a part of doing business in this business, and there will be more enrollments and you will go forward. All right, so here, the next thing we want to talk about is what we want to see on our front line. So Sue's going to talk a little bit about what is a good strategic way to structure your front line. You're muted, Sue.
Oh, good. Thanks for letting me know that. I have this cough, so I muted myself. So hi, everybody. So placing on the front line is probably one of the most important things we can teach you as you begin to build your business. The person that you put directly below you, if at all possible, should be somebody that you know well, and somebody that, if necessary, you could say to them, hey, would you please order $100 worth of product this month? Because the line below you, the people I have placed below you, has somehow collapsed, and those people will roll up to me and I will not be able to collect on the line. I know this is a lot of information that didn't come off very clear, but let me explain it another way. So I have 6 lines. They're very important to me. The people on my line directly below me are people that I trust and I know. Some are family and some are friends. And I have strategically built below those people. Now, some of them are business builders, but some of them are not business builders. They're just people in my family. And the reason that we have that, what I call a buffer between myself and then the business builders below them, is that if I have my sister Casey below me, and then I met John, and John wants to be a business builder, and I place him directly below Casey. So it's Susan, Casey, John. John goes to town. He has a big meeting. He enrolls 15 people underneath him, and now he's got this really cool line. 1 month, John comes to me and says, my car just broke down. I cannot afford to place a $100 order with Young Living, and I'm probably going to have to step out for several months. When John does not order and his order is below $100, everybody in John's team automatically rolls up under the next person for that particular month. This is a really cool thing that Young Living has, but it is also one of the things you need to be mindful of, because if John is below Casey and John steps out, Casey now has 15 people on her front line because John had 15 people on his front line and he did not qualify for a bonus. When you are building to get executive, to get silver, you need to have 2 lines with a certain amount of money underneath them. So if I'm going to be executive, I have Casey and then I have my daughter Kate. In order to be executive, each one of them has to have $1,000 in organizational group volume, and then the entire group, including myself, has to have $4,000. With Casey, she's got John below her. If John didn't buy and he rolled up, I still have $1,000 in organizational group volume under Casey. Because although John pulled out and everybody moved up, Casey buffers me from the fact that John collapsed. If John were directly below me and John couldn't order 1 month, I now have 15 people and my sister Casey. So I could have $50, $100, all these little people below me, and I would not hit that $1,000 necessary to get the executive ranking. So very important, when you are looking at your front line, find people that you know love Young Living's product and don't mind it if they do make a check. Like Laura said, if they were blessed with a check, even if they are not business builders, it does not matter. There's always that buffer between you and the lines you create below them so that you can always maintain the structure you need in order to make the most of your commissions and bonuses. So I'm just going to ask either Laura or Courtney, just to make sure, was there something in there that did not come across clearly? Because this is a difficult concept to understand, and I want to make sure that it sounded reasonable to you.
The only thing it made perfect sense to me. The only thing that I would say is you said bonuses, but this would actually be commission related instead of bonus related. Just to clarify, since we were discussing, bonuses and commissions, but it makes perfect sense. And I think that you're very wise to build that way.
Okay, awesome. If you have any questions on this after watching this video, please post them into the comments. We can always create a separate video just on this with some descriptions and a PowerPoint or something that explains this. But it is very clearly stated on the back office. If you go under member resources, there is a wonderful set of videos all about how to build your lines. And it will talk about when someone does an order and how it rolls up to the person above them. Okay, I'm going to pass this off to Melissa. No, I'm going to Trisha.
Yeah, thanks, Sue. And I'm just going to wrap up with a quick little summary of some pros and cons of strategic placement. I think you heard a lot of the pros. This is about helping to build your business quickly and with strong legs. The cons, I think, hopefully our tips will help you avoid the cons. Probably the biggest cons that I've seen with strategic placement that maybe wasn't done as carefully as it should have been is sometimes the person that you build under feels entitled in a way. And you'll get this, well, you haven't given me anyone lately kind of attitude. And I think we can avoid that. I'll give you a thought in a second. And we can also have people that have been strategically placed feeling kind of like orphans, like nobody's helping them and that they're just a dollar sign to you. So I think both of those things can be avoided when you have those really important conversations with the people that you intend to build under, and also the person that you are strategically placing under them. They need to know that they are going to be supported by both the person above them, their sponsor, and you. Or if that is not the case, if that sponsor is really just there to help you, then you need to make sure that the person you strategically place is connected to you and that you stay connected to them and support them in their young living journey. So I think you can avoid the cons as long as you have an open conversation with the people involved and help them understand this is a business. You are working your business as a business, but you are also there to support and help them on their young living journey. So if anyone has anything else they'd like to add, go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, so we'll wrap this up. Thank you. Yes, Laura.
Really quickly, Tricia, sorry. One of the things that we were going to say, and I realized nobody did, is don't place below level 5. Yeah, like that's really important because if you go, in fact, I've even heard 3 or 4. So, you can look at the percentage, but you then don't get any of the unilevel. You're not getting any commission out of it. So that's something to think about.
Great point. Thank you, Laura. Anyone else have something they'd like to add?
I just want to add, when you're trying to decide if or who to place, listen to your gut or your intuition or pray on it or something. Like, of course, it's 20/20 hindsight. You're not going to know what you would know in the future. But usually when I use my gut, I have made amazing connections and amazing teams with people, and we wouldn't be as close as we are now if we weren't working together. So there's a lot of potential bonuses. So put people together that you think jive or that have something in common, or family or areas. So this could be very good. So enjoy.
All right. Thank you for joining us for this conversation on strategic placement.